Greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Golden Love Channel, the channel of Black love, Black unity, and Black empowerment. So if you guys don't know, I'm actually headquartered up here in Minneapolis, so I'm seeing all this BS transpire with my own two eyes. As you're going to see very shortly, I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of how downtown Minneapolis looks right now. So for those of you who don't know, who have been living in the cave, Daunte Wright, I believe he was 20 years old, foundational Black American, I believe he's a foundational Black American man, was murdered by a white female cop in Brooklyn Center in Minnesota, which Brooklyn Center is just an extension of North Minneapolis. For those who know about the Twin Cities area, I was born and raised here, so I know. And North Minneapolis is essentially the Black part of Minnesota. So the story allegedly goes that he was pulled over for having, I believe, an air freshener in his car. If that doesn't already sound absurd as hell to you enough, oh, don't worry, it gets better. When they pulled him over, the lady says she had a taser in her hand pointed towards him, asking him to comply with whatever demand she was giving him. After babbling and white supremacists explaining, she pulled the trigger of a gun and tried to lie and say, one, she didn't know the gun was in her hand, it was a taser, because everybody knows tasers and guns look completely identical. Obvious sarcasm is obvious. And two, even if they did look identical, they do not weigh the same. A gun is much heavier than a taser. For anybody who's held a gun, you would know this. And three, of course, you would have to take the safety off and then pull the trigger, because with the safety on, the gun wouldn't shoot. In other words, she attempted to white supremacist explain and claim that the entire situation was an accident. You know, the whole Peter Liang bullcrap narrative, when Akai Gurley was shot by the racist Asian cop who killed the Black man in New York, by the way. Now, as you've seen from the footage, the National Guard is out here. I don't think it's too many units, probably just 1 or 2 units out here. That MRAP and Humvee that you saw was the only 2 vehicles that I saw. I was over south, was over north, downtown, and I didn't see too many vehicles. I was heading home around the time curfew started. A lot of people ain't really respecting this curfew, and you can't really blame them. You don't go around killing people and then deploying the National Guard to stop people from being upset about an innocent American civilian being slaughtered. Looking at you, Governor Walz. If you would put these race soldiers in check and put them in line and draft some legislation that will punish these white supremacists for killing innocent Black men, you wouldn't have to call the National Guard out to keep people from rioting and burning down the city. Which, by the way, if you've been on Twitter, there's some footage going around of the site where the brother Dante was murdered, unfortunately, where he was murdered. Nobody was really tearing down or burning anything except the squad cars. But when the police left, everybody was peaceful. When the police showed up, everybody was upset. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that these thugs wearing badges like to kill people, and they think they can do it with impunity, and they think they can get away with it without being punished by the law. But I guess the law wouldn't punish themselves, now would they? Well, unless if the offender is Black, like Muhammad Noor, then they'll throw the cop in jail for killing an innocent citizen. But only when they kill an innocent Caucasian citizen. Family, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to even post or make this video, because I wanted to sit back and see what Daunte Wright's family, what they were going to do and how they were going to respond. And lo and behold, they did the unthink. They did what I was hoping they wouldn't do, but kind of had a feeling they would do. They got a non-lawyer to be their lawyer. Ben Butter Biscuit Eating Crump This clown is the lawyer, quote unquote, thick quotations around the word lawyer, version of a pimp. He pimps the dead bodies of black people to get a bag. This is not the type of Negro we need in these spaces. And whether his family is aware of what he's doing or not, clearly by now they have to be, because Ben Crump was representing other black Minnesotan families who got killed by the police. So either they're just not paying attention, and you can't afford to not be paying attention in a world of white supremacy. It's too much going on for you to not understand that you are at war with a demonic troglodytic KB system that's attempting to eradicate you based off the premises of your skin and that only. So if you're not catching on by now what's going on, you need to wake the hell up. Ben Crump is a con man. And as much as unfortunate as it is that this young brother lost his life, I don't know how much I can support this, because his family isn't taking it as serious as they should be. Now, of course, I'm always going to support a police officer killing a black man or a black woman thrown in jail, like thrown in the cage, thrown in the cage where animals belong, or under the cage, or under the damn ground for that matter. I'm always going to, but this case, I'm going to look at it in the abstract. The police need to be punished. White supremacy needs to be stopped. So I just wanted you guys to understand what was going on from a Minnesotan's perspective, what's happening up here. You know, the George Floyd trials are still going on. They're trying to sham. They're trying to gyp people, and it's not really working. So they're just stalling for time right now. We all witnessed a murder in 4K definition, and they're acting like they don't know what happened, and they can't indict somebody who clearly murdered someone for no reason. But that's what's going on, family. We have to pay attention. The war against white supremacy is intensifying. White supremacy's war against us is intensifying. And if we're not on our square, we'll be knocked off it for good. Before I go, family, I just have to say this. Whether you believe it or not, we are moving in the correct direction. The more white supremacy intensifies its anti-black racism, the more you know we are damaging them and doing things that's undermining this wicked system. Because if we weren't, they wouldn't be so heavily attacking us. You go around the world and see other people and other civilizations who are upset with their governments. The government throws paper towels at them or gives them a nice speech and they get quiet. The United States needs the army to stop black people from getting our justice. But no army is more powerful than a group of individuals working as a team fighting for their freedom.